Shaping. Shaping is when you take a behavior, whatever it is you're trying to teach, and you reinforce very small increments of it up to whatever the whole is. So if I'm teaching a child to say mommy, and we start out with just because that's the sound I get, I would heavily reinforce with that to die for that and then shape mommy as I go out. Because after a while of reinforcing that then I would only get the high-powered reinforcer for ma, and then mommy. Does that make sense? So that's shaping. Because shaping and chaining are different, because we're going to get to chaining in a second, and they're usually used in the same sentence. You know, shaping and chaining are usually used together. But shaping is taking very small increments, reinforcing them, and then shaping the whole of what you're looking for. I was actually working with a little girl the other day, and we were trying to get her to do one-step commands. Just come here. So get out of her seat and come to the therapist that she was working with. And it was a speech and language pathologist that I was working with in West Virginia. And her to die for was Skittles. And this is the one thing that always amazes me about our kids, because they're way beyond smart from us. The speech person had her a little bit away and put the Skittle here. And right before she was going to ask her to come here, the little girl scooted her chair up, stole the Skittle, and scooted it back. So I found that genius, right? I just found that genius. But the teacher couldn't get her, or the speech therapist couldn't get her to do it. And she would say, come here, and when the child didn't come, she'd actually take her physically, bring her to her, and yay for coming here, and then sat her down and then tried to do it again. However, if you watched her, when the speech therapist said, come here, you'd see her little butt just come a little bit off of the chair, and then she would sit back down. And I said, heavily reinforce her butt off the chair and prompt it through. And when we did that, she was getting the Skittle initially just for the little hiney coming off the chair, and then by the end of that session, she was coming all the way to her. So we took that behavior and shaped it, reinforced the very small component of it, and then built it up into the whole.